You know, I don't often talk about new releases and new stuff that's coming out physical media wise, but occasionally I do, and my bright screen is indicating that there's a new email in my inbox that came in today. Okay, we're talking about Via Vision. They're doing 6 new limited edition lenticular releases, which are all available for pre-order coming out in March. So I want to dive into them because, as you can see there, it's a hefty bundle. And it's an interesting one. I like having thoughts and opinions on things. So let's have thoughts and opinions. So first off, we have As Above, So Below. This one is a really interesting found footage film. It's got a bad rep because it's a found footage film by the time that found footage was not really liked by the general public. But it has a really interesting idea of this group of archaeologists deep diving into the catacombs underneath Paris and it becoming hellish. It's wonderful. It's a really interesting, like almost Indiana Jones kind of deal. Sure, again, camcorder, camera work, it's something, but it's a really interesting film. In this case, I'm actually really interested for this release because I do have a steelbook release from I can't even remember what country it was. It was like Malaysia or something, maybe Thailand. I don't know. I have a old steelbook release, which is really nice, but I mean, I could get rid of that in favor of this because, as it is, you get the lenticular sleeve with the actual case inside. Of course, all the same artwork, a bunch of art cards as well, which I know people don't like art cards anymore. It's fine. These do sell out, and usually they sell, standard versions, but to finally have As Above, So Below in Australia, I don't think it's been released prior to this, so definitely worth getting if you're Australian. Hello. But you do get a new audio commentary by film critic and author Alexander Helen Nicholas, so I assume that would be a very insightful commentary, hers usually are. You have an interview of director and photographer Leo Hinston, a interview with actor Ben Feldman, and a video essay by filmmaker and editor-in-chief at Dread Central, Mary Beth McAndrews. So that's already 4 very interesting featurettes. I don't think that the version I had has any featurettes. I think it's just the film on Blu-ray. I could be wrong, but at the same time, none of the set is in English, at least on the box, so I can't tell. Also, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere up there with all my steelbooks. I keep looking over there, but I don't have steelbooks there anymore. It's John Carpenter instead. I moved them. Anyway, then we get to number 2. We got Dracula Collection, the Dracula Collection, which has nice artwork. I like how it has the lenticular artwork has a variety of all the Draculas, including, of course, the iconic Bela Lugosi. You get John Carradine's version, Lon Chaney Jr., the actress who I can't remember the name of, which really stumps me, but it's from Dracula's Daughter, which is one of my favorite Dracula films. But you also get inside artwork, which is very different. Each disc has its own unique artwork, which I really like, as well as the fact that it comes with the Spanish version of the original Dracula. All the art cards are posters from the movies, which is great, including the Spanish poster. So, I mean, this would be wonderful if you don't have any of these films. Unfortunately, I already have all of them. I have a DVD set for one thing, but I have the Ultimate Collection, which comes with every single Universal Monster film. So I have no reason to get this, but it looks fucking nice. I know that they did a release of this for the Mummy films. They did a release for the Abbott and Costello Universal horror films as well. So they're clearly getting all the Universal lineup. They're just releasing it in a really strange order, but at the same time, I appreciate it. They're all in the same set, so if you don't have them, they're great. If you're a huge collector of Universal Monsters, they're wonderful. Again, if I didn't have these, I'd buy them, but I already have them, so I have no reason to buy them. I can't imagine that they're any different from the transfers that already exist, which are already pretty nice transfers. But you do get Dracula, Dracula's Daughter, Son of Dracula, and House of Dracula, including brand new special features and archival special features, as well as the full-length 1931 Spanish film Dracula, which I think is better than the original one with Lugosi. So, yeah. Anyway, really nice looking set. Then we move on to Escape Room from 2019. This one I'm definitely not going to get, mostly because I already have the standard Blu-ray, which is the exact same thing as this, just without the art cards and lenticular cover, so I don't need the extra gloss and paper, not to mention the artwork isn't any different to what I already have. And I do really like the Escape Room films. They're really fun. It's simple as that. They're fun puzzle films. They're really just interesting in general. The second film, I don't know if I prefer it to the first film. I think I prefer the first film over the second film, but the second film does have two different cuts, which is a vastly different experience both times watching it. Nevertheless, this is just the first film, which includes behind-the-scenes interviews, deleted scenes, and an alternate ending. So I imagine it's just exactly the same as the previous release. So if you don't have this film, definitely a way to get it for sure. But at the same time, you could avoid it if you wanted to. I don't know. It's up to you in the end. I'm not really trying to promote the fuck out of these. I just want to talk about them. Because the next one's really interesting. The next one is Jason and the Argonauts. Now, I love the Harryhausen films. You might know that because I did a whole video talking about them last year. And I already had the Viavision release. In fact, I had two different versions of the Viavision release. It's just the same thing, just different packaging. I've actually kept all my old ones for my dad, and I've got a new set for myself. The new set is just still the same big. It was actually, I think it was an 8-film set, but it's now a 9-film set from Viavision. So they're just re-releasing ones that they're already releasing because this has no new special features. It includes all the same stuff as before. The feature documentary, The Harryhausen Chronicles, the interview with Harryhausen by director John Landis, audio commentary by director Peter Jackson. All stuff that previously existed on Viavision's original release. The only thing that's unique about this is the lenticular hard case with nice artwork, and the interior has interesting artwork as well. I'd be curious to see if they have anything else in terms of more classic artwork, because as you can see on the disc, it already has the classic artwork on the disc, but that doesn't seem to be reflected in the rest of the artwork on the set. So, and you get art cards, which are just images, stills from the movie. So again, if you don't have this film at all, definitely a hell of a way to get it. But at the same time, Viavision still already has this readily available on every other release, including their big box sets. And their big box sets, which they've released 3 different times, with just new artwork the second time in a hard case, and the third time in a cardboard case, but with an extra film, because they got the rights to the Mysterious Island one, which was just a DVD upscale from Cinema Cult. Nevertheless, it's still there, so it's like they're all the same, video transfers and special features. So just worth noting. Not to mention Indicator also has them if you're in the UK. And the Indicator versions, I'd probably argue, are actually better than the Viavision ones, just because some of them come with newer transfers and a bit more special features. So again, depends on where you're located and what your fancy is. But an interesting release that they're going for. I don't think I'll get it myself, but at the same time, it's nice that they're doing it, I guess. I don't know, maybe just to keep retaining the rights, let's give it a new hard case version. Not to mention they did, again, also had a standard version come out like 10 years ago or something. Anyway, next thing we've got Nocebo? I keep saying bro, but it's Bo. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Simple as that. It's a 2022 film. I've never heard of it before. But again, same hardcover, lenticular, alternate artwork on the inside, and a bunch of art cards. You do get... Oh, it has Eva Green and Mark Strong. That's interesting. I'm just reading the synopsis right now. It actually sounds interesting. A fashion designer suffers from a mysterious illness that confounds her doctors and frustrates her husband, until help arrives in the form of a Filipino nanny who uses traditional folk healing to reveal a horrifying truth. So it's an interesting horror film, which includes a new audio commentary by the director and a brand new interview of actress Billy Gadsden. So I don't think this has ever had a Blu-ray release in Australia, so very interesting. Personally, I would wait, at least in terms of my bank account, I'll be waiting for a standard release once the limited edition sells out. But if the limited edition doesn't sell out and it's available at JB for 20% off, I'll probably end up buying that. But interesting, nonetheless. And then we get to the last one, the arguably most interesting, if not most controversial one. It's Ultraviolet. Now, I got this Blu-ray last year, maybe the year prior, for about $5. Can't tell you why I did. I think it was just a bonus thing that I bought on eBay. It was like, oh, if I had this one for like $5 or $10, I can use an eBay Plus voucher. It didn't matter. Either way, not a good film. It's objectively terrible. Subjectively, it's a cult classic, but it's not in the fun way. It's a very strange film, and that's why I find it very interesting that this release, outside of having the same artwork on both, the main disc, the main case, and the lenticular case, it has a second disc, which is as they say here, the unrated extended cut of the film. So I haven't seen that version to my knowledge. The benefit is that the old version that I have is actually from Shock Entertainment, and Shock Entertainment is immensely defunct as a brand. It is only the 87-minute long version. This is a 2018 release, which is basically a repackage of a 2006 release. So, yeah, to be fair, if I didn't have this, I would probably buy this, at least maybe wait for a standard version to come out. I wanted to watch this out of the morbid curiosity to see if I actually liked it, because it's one of those, oh, the effects are really dodgy, and Mila Jovovich is really weird. It's an interesting film for like 5 seconds, but the rest of it is just a headache. Personally, at least, that's how I look at the film. But the fact that they don't emphasize any extra special features, it's like, it just seems like the only extra bonus you get outside of the art cards in the numbered individual release is the unrated extended cut. So, yeah, I'd have to take a gander to see if the unrated cut is worthwhile, the unrated extended cut. Also, if it ends up having special features in terms of like a commentary or something, because this is bare bones. So, I wouldn't mind an upgrade, but at the same time, I could not get an upgrade. I could just live my life and not think about this film ever again. Anyway, those are the 6 brand new releases from Vision. What do you plan to get? Are you interested in any of these? Are you interested in getting Ultraviolet on Blu-ray again? Or for the first time? I don't know, it's up to you. Anyway, that's all for now. See you guys next time, and bye. Yeah, cool. Adios.